What is up, you all? It is KBC, and I am back with yet another Garden Chronicles video. So let me tell you what I'm working on right now in this video. Right now, we're going to be talking about creating my garden oasis, but the first things first, we must plant this tree, darling. If you like these sort of videos, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video, and let's get started. I hope you enjoy. So right now, you all, I am digging the hole for this tree. It has rained recently and the soil is very soft. So as you can see, we got some clay here. So you can see that there's, the water from the rain, and I am making the hole large enough for my tree that I'm planting here. I think my Sango is gonna love this spot. So basically what I'm doing, y'all, is moving the grass, and I'm also unearthing rocks. So you can see I'm excavating rocks. I told you all before that my yard produces these beautiful rocks. That's why I love, my yard so much, because Abba always makes sure I find all of these nice rocks to create the border for this oasis. So I'm getting these tree little roots out, or roots from different grass systems out. Yes, look at all these beauties I've unearthed from this process. So I kind of feel like an excavator or archaeologist unearthing these rocks, but I'm still digging so that it's wide enough. Trying to be careful, y'all, because the ground is kind of a little bit slippery, but good conditions to plant this. Okay, so next, you all, once we have our hole to the size of our liking, I'm gonna put some tree and shrub soil in the ground, and I'm going to just chop to make sure the soil is aerated nice and good. And I'm also making sure there's no additional rocks that could prevent the roots from spreading the way that it needs to. Now I'm trying to position my Sango in a perfect position. I like its face to be, beautiful and face front. So I'm kind of, positioning my tree to the direction that I want it to grow in. You just make sure, you all, that, it's the position that you want, and then you fill it with dirt. So right here, you can see I'm getting all those grass patches out, and getting any dirt that I don't want to mix with the tree, so that when I mash down the dirt to make sure there's no air pockets, I don't want any grass and weeds or anything in the plant. Also, like I said, put those pieces of grass that you're not using on other parts of the grass. That way it fills in your grass. So right now I'm just checking for more rocks, seeing if I can unearth more rocks, because there's a whole pile of rocks right there that I'm going to be using for the garden's border. And I'm also, making sure that there's no insects or anything in the nearby area. But you can see I'm just sweeping those big patches of dirt, and kind of raking the soil to flatten things out. All right, so next, you all, I want to take y'all over to where I'm doing my greenhouse shed. So this is the doorway here, and it's very beautiful the way it's set up. I have taken, some pieces of debris to kind of outline it for my contractor. So in here, I will be able to store my winterized plants as well as seedlings that I'm starting in garden supplies. that I do not want to keep in the garage, darling. So this is going to be perfect. My contractor is definitely going to be able to execute this nicely because he literally can build a house from, you know, with his bare hands. He's good. So basically I'm mapping this out for him to get an idea of what I want. If you're going to put any building or anything like that on your property, make sure that it's within, you know, what you can do with or without a permit. If it's bigger than what your state or whatever allows, then you may need a permit. So always work that out. Okay. So with that being said, darling, I'm just loving how this is going to turn out. It is looking gorgeous, but I've already marked it off to get it going. So, you know, stay tuned, y'all. All right, you all. So here is the new fence. I'm gonna have the whole fence be a privacy fence. It's perfect when you want to keep nosy neighbors from looking at what you're doing. So it's going to be trees and privacy, the privacy fencing throughout the whole fence. So what I'm doing now, y'all, is when the contractor basically was doing some parts of the fence, there was some construction debris, which I'm cleaning that up because, like I said, there's going to be the greenhouse shed in this area. But whilst I was cleaning this area, y'all, let me show y'all who needed to be paying the landlord, i.e. me, the rent. Like, let me tell you who decided to move in under the debris, y'all. Let me put him on the screen. And excuse my mismatched shoes, but this is the life of a gardener. So I'm getting rid of debris, and he decides he wants to be in the way. So, sir, you don't have nothing to do? You're not at work eating mosquitoes or flies? You just want to be in my way? Alright. You like, woman, you are all in my business. But sir, pay your rent. Alright, you all. So let's go over to the other side of the patio garden in the crop zone area. And we're going to see what my little gardener has been up to in the crop house. So we gotta...
Is this enough?
So you move it like this. So nothing builds vital skills like gardening. Little one was so excited to plant his tomato plant. Like, as you can see, it's been left in the little container, and he has been wanting to put his tomato plant in the garden to, you know, get it together. So that's what we're doing. So I'm teaching him to squeeze it. You see those little fingers? He's squeezing it to get it out. I'm trying to tell him not to pull it because it's kind of fragile in the state that it's in. It needs dirt, love, TLC, basically. So this is a very important skill, I feel like, to teach children, because it teaches them skills of survival if they ever have to grow food for survival. And it teaches them skills like sensory skills. So he's really getting those skills by, you know, feeling the soil and that sort of thing. So he is mushing it down. He's getting the chunks of soil. He's making sure he's doing things right. And, you know, he is loving it. He's like, wow, look at my work. So you can see him there. And he is really getting it together. So he decided he was done and he wanted to go in. But while I was planting, y'all, look at who decided they wanted to watch me plant and enjoy some fire ants, y'all. So the garden is definitely thriving, because if you're seeing those and frogs, you know that there's no snakes. So let's take a look at my beautiful garden oasis so far. I am loving how it's turning out, you all. And I'm taking my time, you all, because with the placement, I want to see how these plants flourish, so that when I add in different plants and varieties for color and texture, that it just flows. And that's why I take my time with doing planting, because I want to see how trees flourish, grow, what the colors are like, what enjoys the soil. That way I know what I want to fill in. And you guys can see my rock border is going good, and these rocks, as I said, are coming specifically from the garden. I am not spending any money on rocks. I have unearthed all of these rocks throughout my garden, you all. So my garden, all praise to Yah, makes these rocks. I feel like it's a beautiful look, you all. I like the beautiful tones and textures. It just makes everything look lovely. So over here, y'all, in the crop zone, I have planted trees and beautiful things over here as well. My hydrangeas are doing wonderful, and they're bouncing back because, you know, they were hot, you all, and they're bouncing back. They're enjoying the shaded umbrella. So the trees over here are going to be excellent because they're going to be creating like nice shaded environments for plants that require shade or partial shade, or, you know, plants that like that partial sun type of deal. So these are going to be beautiful once these grow in all the way. And y'all can see that my hydrangeas are loving it. They're bringing in that much needed spring and summer color that I'm looking for. So I am also enjoying, you all, like looking at the progress of everything as things are, you know, being put together. So in your garden, definitely be patient with yourself. Take your time, find out what plants work for your soil, work for your yard. Right here, you all, in the middle right here, I'm digging out a tree stump. So that is a process in itself. I'm deciding to do it while it's been storming because, you know, it's the best time to get the loppers and all of that stuff, to get that stuff out. But you all, I cannot wait for all of this to take shape. It's gonna be marvelous, darling. Like, I'm gonna continue to fix parts of the fence that need to be fixed, add the privacy pieces to block out, you know, like I said, you know, people, so they're not looky-looing while you're in your backyard barbecuing, grilling, or just wanting to be in an oasis. And look at this, y'all. It's just this right here. If y'all have any tips on how to get this out, because this is going to be one of those multiple day projects to get this bad boy out. This tree stump was huge in my Donald voice. But anyway, y'all, we ended off the evening, y'all, going to get a bite of dinner. What better way to finish off the evening with one of my faves, y'all? Pizza. Yes, we had to get into it, y'all, because when you put that hard work in, you definitely want to eat good and relax after. So we decided to go and get a bite of our favorite kind of vegetarian, vegan style pizza. And y'all are going to see that in these clips right here. Y'all, get into this pizza with this crust, the veggies, the tomatoes, all the stuff, y'all, that I'm growing in the garden, that I'm definitely looking forward to home baking these style pizzas. Y'all, this is gorgeous and it tasted amazing. But if you like these sort of videos, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Bye.